Get ready to be swept off your feet. Welcome to the Lover List, where Reddit's most romantic love stories come to life. Hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe and turn on notifications if you're ready for a love ride. My female 30 husband, male 34, might be obsessed with his coworker, female 24. I went through his stuff and it got much worse, please help. Hello everyone. I know, I shouldn't have gone through his phone, but here we are. I found saved pictures, screenshots of profile pictures, Instagram screenshots and other pictures of his coworker on his phone. Also, there are text messages in the archived section of his WhatsApp. The messages are innocent, but I had no idea they were even texting on a regular basis. Some background: in his first job, she was his personal assistant. He then went to work in a bigger company 2 years ago, and he mediated her a job there as an assistant of the CEO 1 year later. So she is not his personal assistant anymore, but they're in constant contact and their offices are next to each other. When he mediated her, I found myself a little jealous tbh. I already knew he found her attractive when they were working together in his former job. She matches his preferred type of woman: hair done, makeup done, fake nails. What really triggered me a few months ago is when he told me she had a boob job done in the meantime. I mean, why are they talking about that? He really is into big boobs. Mine are small, and as I saw, hers are really big now. I fear him being obsessed with her, and he only got her the new job to have her around. He sometimes tells me how good of a job she's making and how the atmosphere is so much better with her around. I really don't know how to deal with this situation. I'm hesitant talking to him because I went through his phone. On the other hand, I have a feeling there's might be more which I haven't found yet. As mentioned in my first post, I've decided to go through his stuff to see if there is anything more between them, if it's just him or if they are having an affair. Yesterday he was out cycling with his group and I've been home alone for a couple hours. His briefcase, where he also leaves his work phone over the weekend, was left at home. First I went to his phone. It's an iPhone. I have one too, so I know a couple of features and I've been thinking on how to systematically go through it for the last couple of days. He got the Facebook Messenger app on it in a subfolder. Of course, there was a conversation with her also in the archived section. They're not friends in Facebook. Guess what? It was the complete opposite of his WhatsApp with her. The texts were highly sexual and about where they would have their next meeting. There were pictures sent by her all without her face, mostly in bikinis and lingerie. They were taking about anyone noticed the stains yesterday, next time she needed to swallow, etc. I was, and I am still, in a complete state of shock, feeling numb. I went through it like a robot. Here comes the plot twist. He had more than one account on his messenger. I learned that you can switch them. There were 4 accounts overall in his app. His, 2 empty ones, and her. I checked the profile behind hers and it became clear. It wasn't her real account, it was him texting with himself. He had created this account with her picture and a modified version of her name. I somehow still was all on automatic. I didn't find anything else in his phone. He doesn't have pictures or other private stuff in his work phone. I hadn't had a chance to go through his private phone again. I then went through his briefcase and his outdated notebook/pocket calendar, and on the last page I found a handwritten note. It contains date, location, amount, success, and has like 20 entries. First one was 09/20/milk1, 5 shots safe. Next one was a few days later, 09/22 sandwich, 1 shot. The list goes on until January. I can't classify with all certainty, but I'm sure it has something to do with her. I have a specific suspicion, but I wanted to ask what you think that means. Am I crazy for the thought that comes to my mind? Is there any logical explanation I'm not seeing? I don't want to share this with anyone unless I'm sure. I haven't had much sleep these days, so maybe my brain's not working anymore. This feels like a bad dream to me. I'm devastated. The saved pictures of her sound like he was jerking off to her tbh. Even though the texts aren't inappropriate, I think their relationship/his obvious fondness of her sounds concerning. You should talk to him about what you found and ask why he had many of her pictures saved. Also ask why he didn't mention that they texted regularly. Set your boundaries, tell him what you're comfy/uncomfy with in terms of this situation, and stand your ground if he disrespects a boundary. It's the combination of it all. The more I think about it, the more my instinct tells me there is more to it. I was super nervous when I saw the pictures and texts. I forgot to check other apps or even the sent media section of their conversation. I'm definitely going to confront him, but my feeling tells me there is even more. That's why I decided to go through his phone once again, with my mind focused and in a systematic way. Personally, I think this is divorce territory. Hear me out. He is exercising really poor judgment, fixating on a coworker that he is attracted to the point of bringing her onto his new firm. Bringing her on board really crossed a line. He's obsessed and not even hiding it. At some point, this lack of judgment is going to blow up on him. He'll get hit with a sexual harassment complaint, he'll get passed over for promotions, he'll get a reputation as that creepy perv at work, etc. This will eventually have consequences for him. When it blows up on him, it will also blow up on you, and if you have kids, them. You will suddenly be married to that guy who is unemployable because he got fired for harassment / got caught screwing an admin / got caught taking her out with the company card. Or that guy whose career stalled because everyone knows he is a pervert and reputable firms don't want him. I've worked with pervy guys who do this kind of stuff. Everyone knows it. It's not like they are subtle. Even if they never get in formal trouble for harassment, they do get quiet consequences. Few people want to hire the perv, recommend him, introduce him to clients, and so on. The reason I say this is divorce territory is don't build your life with someone who is a ticking time bomb. Obviously, that's drastic. If you aren't willing to go that far, then demand couples counseling. If he refuses to go, then go without him. Insist that he discuss this issue with you. Don't let him turn it around on you for snooping. You looked because you were justifiably worried. If he refuses to admit he has an issue, then you know what you have to do. I'm so sorry that you're going through this. His behavior seems very concerning to me since it's not at all normal to create a fake conversation with someone else. The way I see it, there's a couple of reasons why. He's writing out his fantasies about her. He's trying to make it seem like they're having an affair so he can send it to her partner in the hopes that they will leave her. He's gone crazy and actually thinks that he's having a real conversation with her. The part about the shots makes me worry that he's putting his semen or something else in her food and drinks. There was a story a while back about a guy who did just that. I also fear that he might be harassing his coworker or at least making her uncomfortable, and you really should let her know what you found as soon as possible. But first you need to gather your thoughts and figure out what the next steps will be. Well, it sounds as if your husband is, at the minimum, crushing on this woman. Whether or not she's aware, he clearly likes her and her company. Should you have gone through his phone? No. But I do hope you have a record of this, either sent yourself screenshots or took photos of his phone with yours. Why? Because when you do ask him, he cannot delete and then tell you you're mistaken, etc. You need to have a conversation. Fess up to going through his phone and ask him if the two of you should be working on your relationship or exploring other options, separation, etc. Because if he doesn't stop this behavior, it will not improve. State the messages aren't flirty in nature, which makes me think this is one-sided and she may not be aware he's harboring a crush. Regardless, you need to speak with him. He sounds unwell to me. Issue of him having very obvious crushes on coworkers aside, which I would straight up leave him for, the fact that he's making fake conversations between the two of them is really concerning. Either he's very ill, or he knows you're snooping and he wants you to think they have something going on. The food notes seem very strange and I can't make much of them a code, maybe? But the fact that their actual messages are innocent and the only evidence of anything more is his obsessive screenshots and fake conversations make me think he's not having an affair, he's just losing it. I would see if you can speak to someone you trust who might try and have a bit of an intervention with him if you don't feel you can speak to him alone. But if he's not okay mentally and you confront him with evidence he's making up a fake affair, he's likely to respond badly, so I would have someone with you or nearby to come and back you up in case he turns nasty. In conclusion, not an affair, but he has bigger problems, in my opinion. It's really important that you share what you found with her. This type of behavior is extremely concerning and I am worried it will escalate. This is an extreme obsession. Also, leave him. After reading both of your posts, I have to say, Please respect yourself and leave him. Take screenshots and send them to yourself. He may be copying conversations he's had with her into something to keep them instead of him making the conversation up. Kick him out of the house and divorce him for adultery. Also see a doctor to make sure you don't have any STIs. I'm sorry he has done this to you. It's very difficult and I am speaking from experience. But you may find that when he's gone you are happier. I know that sounds weird, but it may be true. You deserve better. I hate that the internet has conditioned me to think this way, and I hate even more that it's probably the right interpretation, but I think those cryptic notes are him putting things, probably his semen, in her food and drinks. Safe seems like it denotes that she drank it without noticing anything. He appears to be escalating every time he gets away with it. So on the plus side, your husband is not having an affair in the real world. On the minus side, he is having a batshit insane affair in his own mind, is stalking some poor woman, and contaminating her food. This is all much, much worse. The interpretation we're all getting from this is accurate. Not only is he out of his damn mind, but he's also a predator and she needs to be warned. Anonymously, from an undisclosed location in the Himalayas, because you do not want to be anywhere near this maniac when his fantasy life comes crashing down. I'm just so curious WTF kind of mental health issue this man has. Super obsessed and compulsive, reminds me of the Jeffrey Dahmer Netflix story. The shots is 100% semen. He got 1.5 shots, loads, into her milk, and she didn't notice, hence the safe. He got 1 load into her sandwich but isn't sure if she noticed something is off, hence the question mark instead of safe/unsafe. He's gauging how much he can do this to certain foods so he can do it more in the future. Absolutely, this is a literal crime, by the way. Yeah, that's the part that got me, the acknowledgement of risk, the continuous need to clearly push boundaries after succeeding. It is pathological, it is compulsive, and it is behavior that will ultimately escalate for 2 reasons and explode in spectacular fashion. He is high off his success of doing it and cannot stop. He will continue to chase that high until he gets caught. Eventually, it will not be enough and he will do something even more overtly predatory or sexually violent for that same thrill he was getting. Either way, there is a clear understanding he is doing something wrong in those notes, and also a tacit encouragement to himself to up the ante the next time. This isn't the sort of thing that will stop one day because he just decided to come to his senses, because those senses are intact. He knows the danger and wrongness of what he is doing and has made calculations about and adjustments to his actions in order to continue them undetected. Don't tell him what you know yet. Save prints and videos of conversations and photos. Also take a photo of the written note and leave everything saved on a secure drive. After that, get ready to get out of there. Go somewhere safe like a relative's house or hotel. When you leave, let someone you trust know about the situation and always share your location with them. When you are safe, send an email to this colleague and his work and to HR. There is a high chance that she does not know anything and is in danger. In addition, the company needs to know the type of person that is inside. From that moment on, you can send him a message saying that you want to end the relationship when you are already safe. Don't be too quick. This man seems to have some mental issues. You don't know what kind of things he will do to you if you confront him. Stay safe. A big thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of Relationship Stories that will leave you inspired. If these tales touched your heart, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on notifications so you never miss an episode filled with stories that will leave you in awe.